Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Chris back with yet another fragrance review, and today we are looking at the precious house of Christian Dior. You know, they have a huge and very proud history in fashion and fragrances alike. My late mother, beloved late mother, was a great fan of Miss Dior, 1947 released. I remember wearing more than 15 years ago Christian Dior Eau Sauvage, released in 67. I think it was at one or the other stage of your life you're going to come across a Christian Dior fragrance. And in 2005 they released a groundbreaking fragrance called Dior Homme. And not only was it groundbreaking, but it was also setting a new direction for Dior itself and the entire fragrance market. And it was an interesting period because Guerlain came out with l'Instant de Guerlain, Hermès came out with Terre d'Hermès. So there was an exciting new direction around the time for high-end designer fragrances. And then Dior stepped up their game with Dior Homme Intense in 2007. So ladies and gentlemen, open up center stage for Dior Homme Intense. Now you can see there's barely anything left in this bottle. And this bottle is more than, or approximately actually 10 years old. According to the batch code, it's a 2010 bottle. And it's just a little tiny bit left. And the interesting thing about it is, and why I mention it, because I mentioned the year 2007 when this came out originally, Dior Homme Intense, okay? Now since that, there was another Dior Homme Intense release in 2011, okay? And then the discussion starts. You can see it all the way through in Fragcom and on online and in reviews and all that about different years, different batch codes, old releases, new releases, old versus new, new versus old, you know, and so it's a very prominent and very popular fragrance. And as I say, according to the batch code on this, this is a 2010 release, meaning that this the small level that's still in there is still similar or the same as the original 2007 juice. Okay, so since I'm not the biggest fan of the fragrance, I sprayed it on and I didn't spray it on skin because it's actually a nice fragrance, I have to say, but I'm not in the mood of wearing it when I'm doing the review. But as you've seen, I've worn this big time. It's a 50 ml bottle. So what do we get here? Dior Homme Intense is all about like the entire line actually, the Dior Homme Intense line. It's all about an iris, a wonderful powdery, vanilla sweet iris note that carries a bit of lavender to make it smell real classy. It has what they say this lipstick type of vibe because of the powdery iris. Okay, the projection and sillage of this fragrance are nuclear. It's incredible. You can fill a room with 2 sprays really, and the longevity is fantastic as well. So there's no doubt about the quality of this fragrance. It is just stunning. I liked the original Dior Homme more, and I tell you why, because it was less dense. It was less in your face. I like the concept of the smell of this powdery, semi-sweet, dry, lavendery, even chocolatey sometimes. It has a chocolatey touch to it as well. There's no tonka bean in here. It's very, very high end. You can smell it's very refined, extremely refined. I like the original Dior Homme more because it's more airy, more easygoing. This is very pushy. So you apply this and this is really a tough statement that you make here. If I remember having this on for a company night out, and I was almost killing people with I sprayed too much obviously at the time, so I went overboard. Okay. But that is really what François Demachy, the parfumeur, the nose behind his fragrance, was aiming, and he really created a new direction. I think it's really a genius strike and a genius work here. I'm very courageous and brave to do that because there was nothing like this around before. This Dior Homme was created, although again. Béatrice Piquet with Guerlain, l'Instant Guerlain, is this genre, and I think l'Instant Guerlain was earlier than Dior Homme. So in this case, you have to give the credit to Béatrice Piquet, although their fragrances are not the same. But the idea to make men's fragrances go into this direction, which was very much needed after the aquatic 90s. It was a very brave step from both Dior and Guerlain, and actually the favorite version of this is not a Dior version for me. There is a fragrance released by the Spanish house of Loewe, which is called Man 001, I think. That is the best version of this theme, of this theme, of this type of smell. It has the perfect balance of the notes that make up for this dry, powdery, woody, lavendery, bit sweet, bit vanilla, bit chocolatey type. Although in the Loewe the chocolate is absolutely not present. But in Guerlain, l'Instant Extrême, for example, the chocolate is overwhelming. So I'm mentioning all these fragrances because this is really a direction that the fragrance market was taken and still is going, because many flankers came after Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Cologne, Dior Homme Sport. Dior Homme Sport 2008 with the great ginger, that was one of the best ginger fragrances ever. And then there came a new Sport and a new Cologne and all that. All those flankers of all those very, very successful fragrances. So other fragrance, I mentioned performance and all that. Age-wise, it's kind of has more of a grown-up type of feel to it. But I think like 24, 25 and above, everybody can wear it, and you can wear it up to when you're 82. I think it's very elegant, but you have to have a sort of dress code for this fragrance. Definitely, this is not a casual fragrance. This is this is not, the Intense version is not even a business fragrance. It's too strong for the office, or if you really want to make a statement in a business meeting, maybe. But to me, applying this intelligently, not like I did when I was having this on for my night out, company night out, this would be rather for an intimate kind of dinner scenario, but again, dial back on the sprays, or hold the trigger, or a night out. You can probably spray 2 more because you're be very active on that. But it's a special occasion scent. It's day or night. I don't restrict this to a night time or a night out or whatever. Just it's very important that it has to be worn in a controlled manner, because the powderiness of the iris and the whole thing can be a bit overpowering and too much. But at all times, what you feel is class. What you smell is class and sophistication, absolutely. So Dior Homme Intense, François Demachy, a great job, groundbreaking job done. Not necessarily 100% my cup of tea. As I say, I like the Loewe version a bit better, and the original Dior Homme because of it's more légère, as the French say. It's more légère, okay? So that was Chris with a proud 2010 batch of Dior Homme Intense. Thank you very much, and see you soon for another review.